food assistance cuts undermine nutrition goals, millions of Americans face the potential loss of food assistance as policymakers simultaneously advocate for healthier diets. This contradiction highlights a critical flaw in current food policy. Cutting aid while promoting better nutrition is inherently self-defeating. The recent government shutdown served as a stark reminder of how many rely on programs like SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and school meal reimbursements just to feed their families. The looming cuts and their impact. The proposed One Big Beautiful Bill contains the largest cuts to nutrition assistance in U.S. history, directly clashing with the administration's own push for reduced ultra-processed food intake. Roughly 40% of SNAP recipients are children, and many more are working adults struggling with rising food costs. Without intervention, an estimated 2.5 to 4 million Americans will lose SNAP benefits by Thanksgiving 2026. And hundreds of thousands of children will lose access to free or reduced-price school meals. Local food banks will inevitably face overwhelming demand. This isn't merely about hunger, it's about long-term health. Poor diet quality drives chronic diseases and reduces life expectancy. The financial reality is that nutritious options, whole grains, fresh produce, are more expensive than cheaper, processed alternatives. When budgets shrink, families will buy the most calories for their dollar, undermining any public health campaign. The school meals paradox, the debate over school nutrition, is also fraught with contradiction. The 2010 Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act aimed to improve school meals, but faced criticism for being too strict. Later relaxations under the Trump administration allowed for more refined grains and sugary options. Now, calls for healthier school lunches are growing again, yet funding for these improvements remains unstable. The proposed cuts would eliminate automatic eligibility for free breakfast and lunch under SNAP and Medicaid, further straining already limited resources. Without stable funding, higher nutrition standards are impossible to meet. Why this matters: food insecurity is linked to health outcomes. Even the worry about food access can negatively impact well-being, leading families to rely on low-quality, high-calorie options. Ultra-processed foods dominate American diets, contributing to preventable chronic diseases. Millions will not improve their nutrition if their budgets shrink. Aligning food security and nutrition, the solution is not a mystery. Policy must prioritize both affordability and quality. Strengthen SNAP and school meal programs to keep pace with food costs. Expand nutrition incentives, such as doubling SNAP dollars for fruits and vegetables. Modernize procurement standards to prioritize whole foods in schools and community programs. Support community-based nutrition initiatives that make healthy eating realistic. Build consensus on labeling and additives to make healthier choices easier. These are not partisan ideas. They're practical steps that can reduce healthcare costs, decrease hunger, and improve public health. Thanksgiving, a holiday centered around food, is a reminder that millions depend on federal nutrition programs year-round. Empowering families to eat better requires funding, not just rhetoric. If we want Americans to eat healthier, we must ensure they can afford to do so.